You've probably tried to save money before. Maybe you made a strict budget. Cut out everything fun. Told yourself you'd stop eating out, stop buying things you don't need, stop wasting money. And then, maybe 2 or 3 weeks in, you gave up. Not because you're bad with money, but because the approach made you feel like you were punishing yourself. Here's the thing most financial advice gets completely wrong. Saving money isn't about restriction. It's about design. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a simple system that actually works. One that doesn't make you feel guilty for buying a coffee. Let's start with something honest. Saving money is genuinely hard in the modern world. Not because people are irresponsible, but because the entire financial environment around us is designed to make spending feel effortless and saving feel optional. Think about it. You can order almost anything to your door in 2 taps. By now, pay later options make large purchases feel small. Every app, every website, every store has been optimized to make the moment of purchase as frictionless as possible. And when spending is this easy, it's not a willpower problem. It's a systems problem. There's also something else. For a lot of people, especially in their 20s and 30s, money is emotionally loaded. It's tied to stress, to self-worth, to anxiety about the future. And when something is emotionally loaded, we tend to avoid thinking clearly about it. We spend to relieve stress. We avoid checking our bank account because it feels uncomfortable. We tell ourselves we'll sort it out next month. The result? Not stupidity. Not laziness. Just a gap between what we intend to do with money and what we actually do. Before we get into the system, we need to talk about why you buy things you didn't plan to buy. Because this is where most people lose the most money. Not on big planned purchases. On the small, unplanned ones that add up quietly. Impulse spending isn't a character flaw. It's a predictable response to specific triggers. And once you know your triggers, you can design around them. There are 4 main spending triggers. The first is emotional spending. You buy things when you're stressed, bored, sad, or celebrating. Shopping gives a brief hit of dopamine, the same feel-good chemical your brain gets from food, social connection, and novelty. The problem is that the dopamine fades fast, and the charge on your card doesn't. The second is social spending. You spend money you didn't plan to spend because someone else is spending it. A friend suggests dinner somewhere expensive. Everyone in the group is buying something. You don't want to be the one who says no. This one is subtle because it feels like connection, not spending. The third is identity spending. This is buying things to signal who you are or who you want to be. The gym kit you buy when you're feeling motivated. The books that stack up unread. The tools for the hobby you're going to start. The purchase feels like progress, but it's often substituting for the actual behavior. The fourth is convenience spending. This is paying for things not because you want them, but because the alternative requires effort. Delivery fees. Last-minute purchases. Buying something again because you couldn't find the first one. None of these triggers are shameful. They're just human. The goal isn't to eliminate them. It's to recognize them before you open your wallet. Let's talk about why the standard advice doesn't work for most people. The classic budgeting approach says, track every penny. Cut all unnecessary spending. Save as much as you possibly can. And in theory, that's fine. But in practice, it treats money management like a diet. And most diets fail, not because people can't follow rules, but because rules without flexibility create resentment. Here's what actually happens when budgets are too rigid. You do well for a few weeks. Then something comes up, a birthday, an unexpected expense, a stressful week where you just needed to eat somewhere nice. You break the budget. And because you broke it, you feel like you failed. And when people feel like they failed, they often overcorrect in the other direction. I've already messed it up, might as well spend freely this week. This is called the what the hell effect in behavioral science. And it's the main reason strict budgets backfire. The other problem with extreme saving is something psychologists call deprivation mindset. When you tell yourself you can't have something, your brain fixates on it. You think about it more. You crave it more. The same way telling someone not to eat chocolate makes them think about chocolate constantly. A good financial system doesn't fight your psychology. It works with it. The goal isn't a budget that's technically correct. It's a system that you'll actually stick to over months, not weeks. All right, now we build the system. This is not a complex budgeting framework. It doesn't require a spreadsheet with 30 tabs. It's a simple structure that covers the basics and leaves room for real life. It's called the three-jar system, and it works whether you're earning a lot or a little. Here's the concept. Every time money comes in, salary, freelance payment, any income, you immediately split it into 3 categories before you spend a single cent. Not after you've paid bills. Not after you've bought groceries. Before. Jar 1. Fixed needs. This is everything that isn't optional. Rent, utilities, transport, groceries, loan repayments, phone bill. The things that would affect your life immediately if you didn't pay them. The goal is to know exactly what this number is every month. Not approximately. Exactly. Jar 2. Savings and goals. This is money that leaves your current account the moment your paycheck arrives. You don't decide whether to save it. You've already decided. It goes somewhere you won't accidentally spend it, a separate savings account, an emergency fund, a specific goal fund. The percentage you put here doesn't have to be dramatic. Starting at even 5 or 10% builds the habit. The habit is worth more than the amount, especially at the start. Jar 3. Free spending. This is the most important jar and the one most budgets forget to include. This is money that is genuinely, fully yours to spend however you want. No guilt. No justification required. Coffee, takeaway, going out, random purchases, all comes from here. When it's gone for the month. But while it exists, spend it freely. Here's why this works. The guilt in most budgets comes from the fact that you're never sure which spending is allowed. The three-jar system eliminates that uncertainty. You know exactly what's spoken for, what's being saved, and what's truly free. There's no category called being irresponsible. There's just fixed needs, savings, and guilt-free spending. A realistic budget isn't built on what you think you should spend. It's built on what you actually spend right now. And most people have no idea what that number is. Step 1. Run a 1-month money audit. Look at the last 30 days of transactions. Don't judge any of them. Just categorize them. Fixed needs, food and groceries, entertainment, subscriptions, random purchases, savings if any. Get the actual numbers. You might be surprised. Most people are. And that surprise, not shame, is the point. Step 2. Identify your average. From your audit, calculate what your fixed needs jar should actually contain. What did you actually spend on rent, utilities, transport, groceries last month? Not your estimate. The real number. Then calculate what you realistically want in your free spending jar. What you actually spend on living your life in a way that feels reasonable. This number matters. If you set it too low, you'll overspend it every month and feel like you failed. Set it realistically. Step 3. Work backwards to find your savings number. Once you know what needs and free spending cost, the amount left is what goes into savings. If the number is small right now, that's fine. The system still works at 5%. The habit is what you're building. Step 4. Automate the savings transfer. Set up an automatic transfer to your savings account on the day after payday. Not, I'll move it over when I remember. The moment the money arrives, a portion of it moves somewhere else automatically. You never see it in your everyday account. It's not there to spend. This single automation does more for saving habits than any amount of willpower. Step 5. Review monthly, not daily. A daily review of your budget is exhausting and creates anxiety. A monthly check-in 20 minutes at the end of each month keeps you informed without being overwhelming. You're not tracking every coffee. You're just checking that the jars are roughly where they should be. 6 months from now, your finances will change. In the first month, you mostly just get clarity. You understand where your money is going. You set up the jars. You automate the savings transfer. Nothing dramatic changes. But the anxiety, that low-grade, undefined feeling about money, gets slightly quieter. Because you've replaced guessing with knowing. In the second and third month, the habits start to feel normal. The three-jar system stops requiring thought. You stop feeling guilty about spending your free jar. Your savings account has a small balance that wouldn't have existed otherwise. And something shifts not just in the numbers, but in how you feel about yourself as someone who handles money. By month 6, you have something most people don't. A buffer. Maybe it's $500. Maybe it's $2,000. Whatever the number, it's yours, it's growing, and it means that one unexpected thing doesn't have to derail everything. You don't need to earn more before you start this. You don't need a perfect financial situation. The only requirement is starting. If this video gave you something useful, a new way of thinking, one practical step, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. And if you want more videos like this, practical, honest, no-hype guidance on building a life that actually works, subscribe to Goal Getter Guild. New videos every week. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of the 4 spending triggers did you recognize most in yourself? I read every single comment. I'll see you in the next one.